Drawing is an essential part of my life as an actor.
Pierce Brosnan's life reads like a movie script filled with triumph, heartbreak, and courage. The man who once played the world's smoothest spy has faced real-life battles that no secret agent could ever escape. Behind the charm and confidence lies a story of deep personal pain. A boy abandoned by his parents, a husband who lost the love of his life, and a father forced to bury his daughter. Yet, through every heartbreak, Brosnan found strength in faith, family, and love. His journey from a lonely Irish childhood to global fame and unimaginable loss shows what it means to survive, to grieve, and still keep believing in hope. A lonely beginning in Ireland. Pierce Brosnan was born on May 16, 1953 in Drogheda, Ireland. His early life was marked by loneliness and instability. His father Thomas left when Pierce was just an infant, and his mother May had to move to London for work, leaving 4-year-old Pierce behind. He was passed from one relative to another, never feeling like he truly belonged anywhere. This early instability forced him to grow up quickly, learning independence and emotional resilience at a young age. He spent much of his childhood observing the world quietly, developing a sensitivity that would later shape his acting. Those years of solitude gave him both pain and depth, qualities that would one day make him stand out on screen. Brosnan has often said his lonely childhood became the foundation for his empathy and imagination as an actor. The bond that sparked a dream. At 11, Pierce finally reunited with his mother in Scotland, where she had remarried a kind man named William Carmichael. Though grateful to have his family together again, Pierce felt like an outsider in his own home. But one evening in 1964 changed everything. William took him to the cinema to watch Goldfinger, the iconic James Bond movie starring Sean Connery. For the young boy, it was a revelation. Bond was everything Pierce wasn't: confident, fearless, and in control. From that night on, he wanted to be like Bond, not just on screen, but in life. The seed of ambition was planted. Acting gave him the chance to be someone else, to escape the shadows of his past. Little did he know that decades later, he would become the very hero he idolized as a child. From painter to performer, Pierce's creative side first showed through art. After leaving school at 16, he enrolled at St Martin's School of Art in London, where he studied painting. Money was scarce, but his determination was boundless. His life changed when he accidentally stumbled upon a theatre group while walking through South London. Watching performers rehearse lit a fire in him. He saw expression, emotion, and freedom. Soon he joined drama classes and acting took hold of his life. Brosnan trained at the Drama Centre London from 1973 to 1976, mastering everything from Shakespeare to mime. It was grueling, but he thrived under pressure. By the time he graduated, his charm and intensity made him a natural leading man. His transition from artist to actor wasn't planned. It was destiny pulling him toward the stage, preparing him for the world that awaited. The rise of a star, Pierce began in theatre before moving to film and television. His breakout moment came in 1982 when he was cast as the lead in Remington Steele, an NBC detective series. The show's mix of mystery, comedy, and romance made him a household name almost overnight. American audiences fell in love with his suave charm and Irish accent. The role not only gave him fame, but also drew comparisons to James Bond. Even Bond producer Albert "Cubby" Broccoli noticed him. Ironically, his big break also delayed his Bond destiny. When Remington Steele was renewed unexpectedly, his chance to play 007 slipped away, and Timothy Dalton took the role instead. Brosnan's dream was crushed, but he didn't give up. Instead, he continued building his career, quietly waiting for fate to give him another chance. His resilience during this time proved that patience can turn missed opportunities into future triumphs. Love and Loss, Cassandra Harris. In the late 1970s, Pierce met actress Cassandra Harris, the woman who would change his life forever. She was strong, beautiful, and already established in Hollywood. They married in 1980 and built a loving family, raising 3 children together: Charlotte, Christopher, and their son, Sean. Cassandra had appeared in the Bond film For Your Eyes Only, unknowingly foreshadowing her husband's future. But tragedy struck in 1987 when she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. For 4 long years, Pierce stood by her side as she fought bravely against the disease. Watching her suffer was unbearable, yet he never left her. Cassandra's death in 1991 at just 43 years old shattered him. Pierce later said that her courage and grace taught him the true meaning of love. Losing her left a wound that never fully healed, but it also deepened his compassion and faith, becoming James Bond. 3 years after losing Cassandra, destiny finally fulfilled its promise. In 1994, Pierce Brosnan was officially cast as James Bond. It was more than just a role, it was the dream his late wife had always wanted for him. When GoldenEye premiered in 1995, it revived the Bond franchise, earning over $350 million worldwide. Brosnan brought elegance, wit, and emotion to the role, redefining Bond for a new generation. His portrayal combined toughness with vulnerability, shaped by his own real-life pain. Over the next 7 years, he starred in 4 Bond films that collectively grossed more than $1.2 billion. Behind the glamour, though, Pierce remained humble, always aware of the price of success. He carried Cassandra's memory into every performance, turning grief into strength and charm into armor. A sudden betrayal. Just as his career peaked, Pierce's time as Bond ended abruptly. In 2004, while filming another movie, he received a short phone call from producers. He was being replaced. After 4 blockbuster films, the decision came without warning or explanation. The call lasted less than a minute. It devastated him. The man who had helped resurrect the Bond legacy was suddenly out of a job. Studios turned away, and his reputation as too Bond made it hard to find new roles. For the first time in years, Pierce felt lost. But instead of giving in to bitterness, he focused on rebuilding. He turned to painting again and produced smaller, meaningful films. This period reminded him that fame was temporary, but purpose was eternal. Losing Bond was painful, but it also gave him the freedom to rediscover who he was beyond the tuxedo. Finding love. Again, Keely Shea Smith. Amid heartbreak, Pierce found love again with journalist Keely Shea Smith. They met in 1994 at a party in Mexico and instantly connected. Keely's warmth grounded him. She wasn't dazzled by Hollywood, she saw the man behind the fame. Over time, she helped him heal. They married in 2001 in a private ceremony in Ireland, surrounded by close friends and family. Together, they raised 2 sons, Dylan and Paris, creating the stability Pierce had longed for since childhood. Keely became his anchor, helping him through moments of darkness and loss. Their marriage showed that love could rebuild even the most broken hearts. Pierce often says Keely saved him. Her compassion and faith reminded him that life still had beauty, even after tragedy. The painful loss of his daughter. Charlotte. Just when Pierce thought life had finally given him peace, tragedy struck again. In 2013, his daughter Charlotte died of ovarian cancer, the same disease that took her mother and grandmother. She was only 41. The cruel repetition of loss nearly broke him. At her bedside, he relived every moment of Cassandra's final days. Watching history repeat itself was unbearable. At the 2014 Stand Up to Cancer event, Pierce publicly spoke about his grief, calling ovarian cancer a wretched, inherited disease. His voice cracked as he described holding the hands of both his wife and daughter as they took their last breaths. It was a moment that revealed his deepest pain, but also his immense courage. Despite everything, Pierce turned his grief into advocacy, raising awareness for cancer research and using his fame to inspire others to cherish their loved ones. Faith, resilience, and legacy. Through all his triumphs and tragedies, Pierce Brosnan has relied on one constant: faith. He often says, "Faith got me through everything." Growing up Catholic and Irish, spirituality was his foundation. Every loss strengthened his belief in love, kindness, and destiny. Today, at 71, he continues to act, paint, and support charitable causes, but his greatest role remains that of father, husband, and survivor. His life reminds us that even heroes break, but true strength is found in how they rise again. Pierce Brosnan's story is more than one of fame or loss. It's about enduring love, unshakable faith, and the courage to keep living when life gives you every reason not to.